ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಸದಾಶಿವಸಮಾರಂಭಾಂ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯಮಧ್ಯಮಾಂ ಅಸ್ಮದಾಚಾರ್ಯಪರ್ಯಂತಾಂ ವಂದೇ ಗುರುಪರಂಪರಾಂ. ಶ್ರುತಿಸ್ಮೃತಿಪುರಾಣಾನಾಂ ಆಲಯಂ ಕರುಣಾಲಯಂ ನಮಾಮಿ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದಂ ಶಂಕರಂ ಲೋಕಶಂಕರಂ. ಶಂಕರಂ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯಂ ಕೇಶವಂ ಬಾದರಾಯಣಂ ಸೂತ್ರಭಾಷ್ಯಕೃತೌ ವಂದೇ ಭಗವಂತೌ ಪುನಃ ಪುನಃ. ಈಶ್ವರೋ ಗುರುರಾತ್ಮೇತಿ ಮೂರ್ತಿಭೇದವಿಭಾಗಿನೇ ವ್ಯೋಮವದ್ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತದೇಹಾಯ ದಕ್ಷಿಣಾಮೂರ್ತಯೇ ನಮಃ. ಗುಕಾರಸ್ವಂಧಕಾರೋ ವೈ ಋಕಾರಸ್ತನ್ನಿವರ್ತಕಃ ಅಂಧಕಾರನಿರೋಧಿತ್ವಾತ್ ಗುರುರಿತ್ಯಭಿಧೀಯತೆ. ಓಂ ಸಹನಾ ಭವತು ಸಹನೋ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಓಂ ಭದ್ರಂ ಕರ್ಣೇಭಿಃ ಶೃಣುಯಾಮ ದೇವಾಃ ಭದ್ರಂ ಪಶ್ಯೇಮಾಕ್ಷಭಿರ್ಯಜತ್ರಾಃ ಸ್ಥಿರೈರಂಗೈಃ ಸುಷ್ಠುವಾಗುಂಸಸ್ತನೂಭಿಃ ವಿಷೇಮ ದೇವಹಿतं ಯದಾಯುಃ. ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿ ನ ಇಂದ್ರೋ ವೃद्धಶ್ರವಾಃ ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿ ನಃ पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. ओम नमो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदायकर्तृभ्यो नमः. प्रज्ञानां शुप्रतानैः स्थिरजरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्ठान् पुनरपि दिशणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ्मायया भोजयन्नः. मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परम् अमृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि. सप्रयोजनता तेषां स्वप्ने विप्रतिपद्यते तस्मादाद्यन्तवत्वेन मिथ्यैव खलु ते स्मृताः. अपूर्वं स्थानि धर्मो हि यथा स्वर्गनिवासिनां तानयं प्रेक्षते गत्वा यतैवेह सुशिक्षितः. स्वप्नवृत्तौ अपि त्वन्तः चेतसा कल्पितं त्वसत् बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं सत् दृष्टं वैतत्यमेतयोः. जाग्रद्वृत्तावपि त्वन्तः चेतसा कल्पितं त्वसत् बहिश्चेतो गृहीतं सत् युक्तं वैतत्यमेतयोः. उभयोरपि वैतथ्यं भेदानां स्थानयोर्यदि स एतान् बुध्यते भेदान् को वै तेषां विकल्पकः. कल्पयत्यात्मनात्मानम् आत्मा देवस्वमायया स एव बुध्यते भेदान् वेदान् इति वेदान्तनिश्चयः. विकरोति अपरान् भावान् अन्तश्चित्ते व्यवस्थितान् नियतांश्च बहिश्चित्तः एवं कल्पयते प्रभुः. अपूर्वं स्थानि धर्मो हि यथा स्वर्गनिवासिनां तानयं प्रेक्षते गत्वा यथा इह सुशिक्षितः. The question was, the dream has things which are unseen before. Apurvam. Apurvata is there in things that are being seen in the dream. So how can you say that your example, what is the drishtanta? Yadyad drishyam tattat anrutam. Drishtanashta swabhava is there for things. Yata swapne drishtanashta swabhavaha asti तथा एव जाग्रदपि दृष्टनष्टस्वभावः जाग्रदृश्य वस्तूनां भावानां. So the conclusion of whatever is seen in the waken is all mithya, vitatha. They are not necessarily true. Is predicated on the example that everything that is seen is untrue. The drishya padarthas are untrue, just like in the swapna. In the dream, You see things which are untrue. All of them are untrue. Therefore, whatever is seen is untrue because they are dependent on the Swarupa of the seer. So too, in the Vakan also, anything that is seen has to be construed to be false, mithya. So in order to establish this, your example of dream is essential. But that is not acceptable because the dream has things which are apurvam. Dream has its own unique set of things. Therefore, you cannot say dream is false, was the question, was the statement. Okay. So for that, Karikakara as well as Bhashyakara gave an response that even though they seem to be new, they are actually not new. They are not Swatasiddham. Okay. They are not. Drishtantasya asiddhatvat is that was the question. But the answer to that was that it is not Swatasiddha. Swapne drishtam apurvam yan manyase na tat swataha siddham. It needs what you see in the dream needs certain raw material which has come from the Vakan, because your scattered knowledge of things from the Vakan only gets rejigged. So there is a raw material which is there, which combines into what comes as the dream. For that, one example, I wouldn't call it an example, what would we say, an analogy or not even an analogy. Okay, so to make you understand it, a certain description is given about how somebody who goes to a new place goes there through a route. The route is told to you. Okay, somebody describes the route, and using different aspects of the route, the person progresses on into the through the route to reach a destination. Now the actual experience is slightly unique. Only when you actually go through that route, you see things which are in the route, you understand exactly how they look. But then for you to traverse that route, that path, you have been provided certain raw material instructions, certain landmarks you will pass through, certain board signs you will see. All those things are told to you, and you trace that path to actually go and reach a destination. So it's a simile kind of thing, right? So with that, it is similar in the dream also. It is the same way. Therefore, it is not Swatasiddham. So there is a Mithyatvam there. So he was already told. We saw that. Now, another question was raised. There is a Antahkalpana and Bahishkalpana. In the case of Vakan, if you look at Vakan, right, there are things which are direct perceived through the senses, tangible things, and there is also superimposition of things, right? You are seeing mirage water, which is not a direct perception. It is you are making some kalpana that there is water there. Looking at the mirage, you think there is water, or looking at a rope, you see a snake. And there are things which you won't imagine, fantasize. So that is all asat. No, but then there is a true sun, there is moon, there is earth, there is a chair. All these are tangible. I am seeing directly those existence. So there is both false objects or false experiences as well as the tangible true experience. So asat and asat are both there in Vakan. There are two sets of things. Whereas dream is all asat. Entire dream is only an imagination. So how can you compare those? So therefore, even though dream is, you can say, is false, that doesn't necessarily mean that Vakan is Vitata. That question comes. Therefore, Karikakara addresses that Swapna Vrittau apitvantaha chetasa kalpitam tvasat bahishcheto grihitam sat drishtam vaitatyam etayoho. Antascheta kalpitam bahishcheta kalpitam vastu is there in both Vakan, in this case of sleep, dream. Okay, Vakan is going to talk about in the next verse. Look at the dream itself. Swapna vrittau api antaschetasa kalpitam bahishcheto grihitam. Both are there. Within the dream also, you are available as a person. And then you are thinking, you are making judgments about what you are seeing in the dream, even within the dream. So when you see an elephant coming in the dream, you as an entity within the dream still are afraid of that elephant coming towards you. You think within the dream whether this elephant will hit me or it is going to bless me. All that in your mind within the dream also, you as an entity, you are thinking. So there is also a possibility of you imagining things even with as an entity within the dream itself. So the antascheta kalpitatvam is possible, and it is done even as part of the dream. And bahishcheto grihitam, even within the dream, as soon as you just momentarily you think that this elephant is going to thrash me, and then within moment the elephant comes near you and it puts its this thing on your head and it blesses you, for example, then you are okay, you are happy. So what has happened there? There is a bahishcheto grihitatvam of the elephant blessing you, and antascheta kalpitatvam of you imagining that the elephant will come and kill you or something. Both were there in the same dream. Does that make the dream as fully true? No. Both are Vaitatyam. In the case of Swapna, the Antascheta Kalpitatvam is Vitata, and Bahishcheto Grihitatam Vastu also is Vitata. What is perceived within the dream as your own imagination, and what is perceived in the dream as things which are tangibly outside. Eventually, when you wake up, you realize both of them were part of the dream. So a distinction of Antascheta Kalpitam and Bahishcheta Kalpitam doesn't make them true. That is the idea here. And it is the same in the case of Vekan. That is what he is going to tell in the next verse. So Apurvatta Ashankam Nirakritya Swapna Drishtandasya Punaha Swapna Tulyatam Jagrat Bhedanam Prapanchayan. So Bhashikara is saying, Karikakara is extending the example of dream to also show other aspects of Vakan being similar to the dream. Okay, Apurvatva Ashankam Nirakritya. Already that Apurvatvam is done with. Now to the other things. Apurvatva is one thing that you will say because of Apurvatva, dream is real was one. Okay. The second one is dream, though has everything as unreal, Vakan has both real and unreal. To contest that, there is similarity even in that case between dream and Vakan, to show that this verse is said by the Karikakara. This is what Bhashikara says here. Swapna vrittavapi, swapnasthane api, antaschetasa, manoratha sankalpitam asat. So there is manoratha, the mental imagination. Within the dream as an entity, you do things which you imagine things even as an entity within the dream. Manoratha sankalpitam. Manoratha means mental imagination, right? Your own fantasizing or conclusions or thinking, whatever. That is all Manoratham, purely mental activity. That is all, whatever is there, even in the Swapnasthana, in your state of being a dreamer, whatever you are thinking there is Asat. Sankalpanantara samakalameva adarshana. Okay, sankalpa anantara samakalam eva. This anantara samakalam is very important because this dvikala and all is going to now talk about. Whatever you are imagining goes away as soon as your imagination gets over. Okay. So it's there because I see. It's not it is I see because actually it is I see because it is there, and not it is there because I see. Okay. So the antaschetasa kalpitam is you see it because you think. Okay. So you think because so you see. Not it so because in your mind you are, so it's like Shobhanadhyasa. You see a rope, you see a snake there, therefore it is there. Only until the time you see a snake, that snake is there. But once you are seeing a snake there is gone, that snake is gone. Whereas the rope is there, whether even at the time you, as long as the rope is there, you can see it. As long as you see, the rope will be there. So it is, that is where Dvikala, there is going to talk about it. So here, so I think so I see, not because it is there. So therefore Sankalpa Anantara Samakalameva Adarshanath. As soon as your Sankalpa is gone, your imagination is gone, that is also gone. Gone as in like it is purely your imagination, right? Whatever you are seeing. Same thing happens even within Swapna. Tatraiva Swapne Bahishchetasa Grihitam Chakshuradi Upalabdham Gatadi Sat Ityevam Asatyam iti nischite api sadasad drishtaha. So within the swapna, tatraiva swapne, within the dream, bahischetasa grihitam, there is an external, okay, so look at it like this. Everything in swapna is what? Is your own mind. The dream, entire dream is your mind, okay? Your mental activity. But within that mental activity, there is a bahischetas, there is an antaschetas. Okay. So there is a how will you translate it in English? There is an external experience. There is an internal experience. So there is an internal activity within the entire mental activity of dream. There is an antaschetas. There is a bahischetas. Okay, the Bahishchetas looks as Sat, Antaschetas look as Asat while you are dreaming. Tatraiva Swapne Bahishchetasa Grihitam Chakshuradi Upalabdham. So in the dream, you are having eyes, everything, and you are seeing an elephant coming towards you. That is not your Vekan Indriya, but the dream actually projects an Indriya for you, an eye, and you are seeing an elephant coming towards you. That is Bahishchetas. Within this dream, it itself is Antaschetas only actually. Okay, and your own thinking about that elephant is your Manoratham with this Antaschetas. Okay, Tatraiva Swapne Bahishchetasa Grihitam Chakshuradi Dwarena Upalabdham Ghatadi. Suppose instead of elephant, he gives an example of a pot. So you see a pot there. So that is within the dream, it is a Bahishcheto Grihitam Ghataha. Grihitaha Ghataha. Okay, Ghatadi Saditi Evam Asatyam iti Nischite api Sadasad Vibhagaha Drishtaha. Okay, there you see Gata as Sat, and you are thinking about that Gata, was it actually a man, pot belly of somebody? Suppose you are thinking like that within the dream, that is Asat, but the actual pot is Sat. But both of them are Asatyam. Therefore, Sadasad Vibhagaha within a state of experience doesn't prove Satyatvam of what is the experience. Both are Asatyam. Though there is Sadasad Vibhaga, but then both are asatyameva. So this is from the dream perspective. Now same thing can be applied for Vekan also. Ubayoho api antarbahishchetah kalpitayoho vaitetyameva drishtam. Both of them are mithya. Now come to Jagrat. Jagrat vrittavapitvantaha chetasa kalpitam tvasat bahishcheto grihitam sat yuktam vaitathyametayoho. Jagrat vrittavapi. In the case of Vekan also, whereas in the case of Vekan also, antaschetasa kalpitam asat. In the Vekan also, whatever you are imagining, fantasizing through your mind, all that is untrue, asat. Bahishcheto grihitam sat. There is an external tangible things that your eyes see, nose smell, and ears hear. So your stula anubhava is there. That stula anubhava is sat. Is an actual, so it is not, so there is a relative reality of tangible experience versus intangible experience that is there. So you are seeing a wall in front of you, laptop in front of you, a person in front of you, you are hearing some sounds. That is not same as you imagining that I am flying now, I am crossing. When they do shavasana, right, you'll be taught to just imagine that you are flying. You are seeing the moon, crossing the moon, then you see the sun, you cross the sun, and you see all the stars, and then you float there. It's what is this? This is antascheto kalpitam only, manoratha matram. So there is a relative reality between that and you actually seeing Chandrayaan landing on the moon, right? The rover lands on the moon, whatever. There is a difference between what was done as part of Shavasan versus this Chandrayaan. But this Sat and Asat Kalpana are both Asatyam if you look at the reality of both of them. That is why Vaitatyam Etayoho. For what reason? We already saw the dependence on Atmavastu as well as for because Kala Anavichinatvam is not there. There is Kala Avachinatvam. Adavante Chayanna Asti Vartamanepi Tattada. So there is a time, it is time bound and it has its dependence. It doesn't have its own independent existence other than it being the Swarupa of the Drashta. Drashtu Swarupa is what is there that is seen. So Jagrad Vrittavapi Tvantaschetasa Kalpitam Tvasat Bahishcheto Grihitam Satu Yuktam Vaitatyam Etayoho Vaitatyam Yuktameva. It is both, just like in the case of dream. Vekan also, even though there is Sadasad Vibhaga, the Sadasad Vibhaga doesn't make make it a Satyam. It is still Asatyam only. Sadasatoho Vaitatyam Yuktam Antarbhagischetaha Kalpitatva Aviseshat. There is no difference where dream also has the Sadasad Vibhaga. Antarbhagischetattvam is there in both. Therefore, it is dismissed. Vyakyatam Anyate. All the things we have explained is what Bhashyakara says. Ubayorapi Vaitatyam Vedanam Stanayoryadi Sayetan Buddhyate Vedan Ko Vaitesham Vikalpakaha. Now a question is asked. If everything is Vitata, everything is Mithya, the seer is Mithya, the seen is Mithya, the seeing is Mithya, dream is Mithya, Vekan is Mithya, everything you are saying is Mithya. Sarva Mithyatve Pramatru Pramanadi Vyavahara Anupapatya Visesham Ashankyate. So that is how the Tikakara introduces. Bhashyakara introduces as Chodakaha Aha. The whole verse is presented as Purvapaksha. Some questioner is asking this question. Why Chodakaha? Because you can't say it is a Sankyavadi or Nayayika or anything, because his question is more to ask, say that, hey, your statement seems to be like a Vainashikaha, like a Buddhist. So that is the contention. Why Buddhists, if you see, Ubayorapi Vaitatyam Vedanam. If both Sat and Asat are Vitata Asatyam, Ubayoho Vedanam, Stanayoho Vedanam, in both the sthana, the Sat and Asat of what is seen in both the dream and waken, all of them are vitata, mithya. The kaha etan buddhyate. Who is knowing this? Is there somebody who is actually, who knows the Sat and Asat? Because existence of, see, when I say I exist, to say that I exist, I need an experience. So even though we say Atma and Nirguna, Niravayava, all that, but I need to have a mind, I need to have a world experience, a mouth to speak, so as to say I exist. There should be a listener, all that is there. Now, if everything is mithya, then somebody is experiencing this Vaitatya mithya. And who is this person experiencing it? How do you infer that? Only if there is truth in all these experiences going on, then you can say there is somebody who is experiencing it. Now, if you are saying the whole thing is untrue, then who is it that is there somebody at all? Okay, kaha etan buddhyate. Vedan kaha buddhyate. So you are saying there is satyam and this is asatyam, this is dream, this is vaken. So there is all this Veda. And also this grahya grahaka Veda is there in satyam as well as asatyam, asat. There is some grahya grahaka Veda. Even if I am imagining an elephant, that imagined elephant and the imagining person, there is a Veda there. And if it is a pramana vyavahara also, there is a grahya grahaka Veda. But then who, you can say it is mithya, but then who is it that is experiencing all this? Kovai tesham vikalpakaha. And who is it that is creating all these differences and showing it to you? Somebody should be showing it. That is what we are calling as Vishnu or Krishna or Jesus or Allah or somebody, some God, who does all this vikalpa, makes all this, and then you are the one as a jiva who is experiencing it. So at least accept that is our theologies are better. Otherwise, you have to say that it is, you are a Vainashikavada. There is nobody there who is creating it and nobody there who is experiencing it. So it is all shunya. That is to be accepted. So one of that you should say, because there should be someone, is the question. Chodakaha aha. Swapna jagrastanayoho vedanam yadi vaitatyam kaha etan antarbahishchetah kalpitan buddhyate. Kaha, who, टीका कर्तृकरण व्यवस्थानुपपत्यापि विरोधः अस्ति. Okay, that karta karanam, all these things, the whole karaka vyavahara, if you negate all that, even then there is a problem. If you negate all the karakatvam, then what is implied as the person who is witnessing it? Again, vikalpakaha nirmata yavat, that is Ishvara, somebody who has to create those differences. Okay, so that is the question. So kayetan swapna jagrastanayoho vedanam yadi vaitatyam kaha eta etane antarbahishchetah kalpitan buddhyate. Who is the one who is seeing all this? Because if you say seer, that is also sthani dharma only. So it is incidental. Now who is it that is experiencing this sthana? Kovai tesham vikalpakaha. Who is the one who is creating all these differences? Smriti jnana yoho kaha alambanam iti abhiprayaha. Okay, you are saying it is jumbling up of your memory. But what is the ashraya on? What is all this sitting on? Alambanam, smriti and jnana. The experience is sitting on who? It can't be the seer, because seer itself, seerness is part of your mithya, vaitatyam, vitata. So what is it dependent on? Is it what is it has to stand on something? No, it can't be on shunya. That's why he says nachet niratmavadaha ishtaha. So unless you agree that there is a jiva, there is a seer, you have to then say it is on niratma only. There is nothing on emptiness. All this is standing. If on emptiness it is standing, then it is not mithya, it becomes satyam. So if you say the sarpa, underneath there is no rajju. Okay, if you have to say all that sarpa is sitting on shunya, that means your sarpa experience is true. It won't go away. Where will it go? Otherwise, shunya, how will you explain shunya? Shunya means there is nothing underneath. It's not that there is something called shunya which is underneath. Then it becomes Brahman only. कर्ता हि पूर्वानुभूतं स्मृत्वा तज्जातीयान् निर्मिमीते तेन स्मृति अनुभव आश्रय आक्षेपेण कर्त्राक्षेपः विवक्षितः तथा च कर्तादि व्यवहारानुपपत्तिः सर्वमिथ्यात्वे दुर्वारा इत्यर्थः. Therefore this karta apeksha is there. The experiencer is to be there. Unless you accept that, see, the moment you say there is somebody who is experiencing all this, that means the sthani dharmatvam becomes a swarupa dharma. Okay, that is where he is headed. The Purva Pakshi. Okay, so the Karikakara answers Kalpayatyatmanatmanam Atma Devaswamayaya Sayeva Buddhyate Vedan iti Vedanta Nishchayaha. Here Karikakara brings Vedanta Nishchayaha. Why? This is a Vaitatya Prakaranam. It was supposed to be only based on Yukti. So why he has to bring Vedanta Nishchayaha, Shruti Pramana here? Because the Sarva Karanatvam is not Yuktya possible to get at. You can't get to Sarva Karanatvam of Brahman purely by Yukti. So the Sarva Karanatvam of Jagat is part of your understanding of Brahman, and that can be known only through Shruti Vakya. So he brings Vedanta Nishchayaha. What is the Vedanta Nishchayaha? Kalpayati Atmana Atmanam Atma Devaha Swamaya. Atma Eva Kalpayati. The Paratma, the Chaitanya Atma only, is doing the Kalpana. There is no other thing which is doing Kalpana. It is the same Atma. And Dyotanatmakaha Devaha. It is an effulgent Chaitanya Atma which is doing the Kalpana, where Atmana Atmanam. So the Kalpana is about the Atma only and through Atma. So basically the Nimitta is Atma. The Upadanam also is Atma. Atmana eva. Okay. Atmana, the karma is Atma, karta is Atma, the karanam is Atma. In fact, Bhashyakara adds Atmani, Atmani eva. See, Bhashyakara Swayam Swamayaya Swam Atmanam Atma Devaha Atmani eva Kalpayati. Again, the Adhikaranam also, Bhashyakara says Atmani is also Atma only. So all the Karakas, Kartri, Karma, Karana, Sampradana, Apadana, Adhikarana, all these are Atma only. Kalpayati. So it is superimposed. Then how does the Srishti take place? It is a Kalpana, it sees. But then your question will be, that means the seerness, that Sthani Dharma, doesn't it become the Swarupa? No, it is superimposed, the Maya Karyam. That's why the Maya is part of Mithya, but it is a Shakti. So if everything is Chaitanyam, the Karyam is Asat, the Asat Karyam. What you are seeing in the Vakan, what you are seeing in the dream, all that is Asat Karyam. So Asat only. Okay, there is no Satyam. It is Asatyam only. But this Asatyam needs to be shown, means there should be some kind of Shakti which make you see it. Okay, but that thing which makes it, that is called Maya. No, that is also within Mithya only. Also, by making you see a Jagat, it doesn't undergo any change in Swarupa. So the fact that you are seeing a Jagat doesn't alter the status of the Atma being Nirguna Niravayava. Therefore, it is called a Vivarta Karanam. The Karya Karanatvam is still there, but only as a Vivarta Karanam. So Maya is not a Parinami Karanam. It is not like a catalyst which goes and so you put a little bit of curd or bacteria into the milk, next day it becomes a curd. So like that, Maya is like a catalyst which goes and changes the Chaitanya into Stula Jagat and all that. That is not how it is. That means it's a Parinami Karana. But here it is Vivarta Karana, Rajju Sarpavate. Like how you see the snake on the rope. Does seeing the snake on the rope make any change to the rope? No. The rope remains a rope without being disturbed in any manner. Because just because you see a snake, somebody will see a danda, someone will see a dara, but none of them make the rope change. That is called a Vivarta Karanam. But you need a rope in order for you to see a snake. Okay, a snake you can't see without a rope being there. So a rope lends its existence for the snake. The existence of the snake is because of the existence of the rope. But then the rope is undisturbed because of you seeing a snake. That is how Rajvadaviva Sarpadin Kalpayati. That's why Bhashyakara says Rajvadaviva Sarpadin Kalpayati. Sarpadin Kalpayati Rajau. Rajvadav. Sarpadin is Mrigadrishnika, etc. Okay, Mrigadrishnika on Usharadesa and Sarpa and Rajju. Vedakaram Kalpayati. Because of Mayaya, Swamayaya, Swayameva cha tan buddhyate Vedan. It is the Atma which is seeing, not as a seer. The seerness is incidental. So it is, so then is Atma is not seeing something else. Okay. So the seer is Atma, the seen is Atma, the seeing is Atma, and where you are seeing is also Atma. So how does the Srishti take place? So like a pot maker is making the pot. So he needs the clay. He needs the intelligence of how the pot needs to be. He needs a place on which to stand and create the clay, pot. He needs all the instruments to create the pot. Therefore, what is the substance on which he is making the Jagat? Atmana. And who is making? Atma only is making. The karta for the one who is creating the jagat is Atma. Material is Atma. Atmani, Vashikar added, no, where he is standing and creating the jagat on the Atma only. And is there any other Sahakari Karana like the stick and all that? No. That only with Atma, the Atma is doing a kalpana of this jagat. Therefore, since both, so the seerness as a status also is incidental only, and it is within mithya only. So the Maya is part of mithya. So it is not its own existence. The Shakti and all that again is mithya Shakti, because the Srishti is mithya Srishti. Therefore, Swayam Swamayaya Swam Atmanam Atma Devaha. It's not inert, therefore Devaha. It is effulgent, it is Suprakasham. It's not an inert like an atom. Otherwise, we will think some material, Atma is like some material like atoms or energy which became this Jagat. No. It is Chaitanyam Devaha. Atmani eva vakshamanam Vedakaram Kalpayati. Rajvadaviva Sarpadin. Swayameva Chatan Budhyate Vedan. So this is the Bodha is also Mithya. It's not Atma comes and Budhyate. The Atma in the Mithya Bhuta Jagat as the Drashta is having a Darshanam. Tadvateva Ityevam Vedanta Nischaya. There are Shruti Pramana, there are so many. Let's see if Tikakara quotes any Shruti here. Naiha Nanasti Kartradi Vedasya Pramatradi Vedasya cha Mithyatve Naiha Nanasti Ityadi Shruti Pramanayati. Neha Nanasti Kinchana. Brother he quotes Neha Nanasti. The Nanatvam is superimposed. Nasti. This Iha itself is Nasti. Forget Nana. Only Swarupa is there. Nanyaha Asti Jnana Smriti Ashrayaha. The Jnanam and Smriti, the knowledge and the memory, the experience and the memory doesn't have any other locus. The only locus is Atma only. Nacha niraspade eva jnanasmriti vainashikanam ityeva vainashikanam iva iti abhiprayah. So it is not only all the jnana and smriti is rooted on Atma, but also you can be clear that they are not niraspada, like in the case of Bauddhas, who say everything is niraspada. They don't have any other aspada, any other basis on which they are. They are kshanikam vijnanam and all that. So vijnanam kshanikam means it doesn't have any aspada. There is no existence. Now, but you can ask, you didn't answer this question. What question? That everything, for you to establish your own existence, you need these experiences. That is not the case. Okay. So even in the deep sleep, you existed. Whether you have to come out and talk about it is a different thing. So, but then your existence is not established only by talking of it, but you are able to infer the existence even without. See this. The difference between Jiva and Ishvara is in the Upadhi. Here also, what is this Maya Upadhi? Maya Upadhi is also in Chitta only. It's going to talk about it, I think, in the next verse or one of those. This Chitta, in Chitta only, this Chitta is the Upadhi for both Jiva and Ishvara. But for Jiva, there is an Antahkarana Apeksha is there to know anything. Then you need an Antahkarana on which a vritti takes place. Okay. And I get to know one object after another. That is how my vritti is. Right now, I know this wall. One object as in one set of objects after another, right? So one after another, the vritti has to come for me to know anything. There has to be a prama. There is a pramana pravritti has to be there for me to have a prama. A knowledge to take place, I need to have a vritti. For that vritti to take place, I need a antakarana. But in the case of Ishvara Upadhi, that whole thing has to be Yugapat. Yugapat, at once that Upadhi should know everything. Then only that Upadhi can be called as Sarvajna. Because we need Antakarana Apeksha, we are Kinchijñas. We know only so much at a time. And forever also, we only know so much because everything needs one mental vritti. Every perception, every knowledge, every experience needs one vritti in your Antakarana. Then only an experience or a knowledge or anything takes place. Whereas in Ishvara Upadhi, it can't take place like that. If it takes place like that, then Ishvara cannot have Sarvajñatva. And the amount of things to be known in Vritti. So Vrittiyatmaka means you are reactive. There is something and then a Vritti is taking place for you to know about it. Whereas Ishvara being Niyati Swarupa and that whole thing has to be a Upadhi, has to have a Yugapat. At once that Jnanam should be there, which is in the form of all experiences. That is what is the Maya Upadhi. And the Maya Upadhi has, from a Jiva perspective, there is a Avarana Vikshepa and all that capacity to shield you. Your knowledge is something called Avarana, because of which the Avidya becomes the Upadhi for Jiva. But Ishvara Upadhi we call as Maya, which is in this form. It is also a Chitta. In the Chitta only this Maya is there. But it is a Yugapat Jnanam, therefore Sarvajñatvam, and that Sarvajñatvam is the Kalpana. Otherwise, what is the Kalpayati? So you have to understand this Kalpayati. The whole Jagat is a Kalpana, means it is a Chitta Vyavahara only. So this whole Vekan is a Chitta Kalpana of the Ishvara Upadhi, which is Maya. Therefore, this Mayavadi term for Shankara is very wrongly said. You see here, this Maya is a word again was not introduced by Acharya. If you see here clearly, it is Karikakara. Gaudapada Acharya actually introduces the term Maya. And Bhashyakara clearly says, Nacha niraspade eva jnanasmriti vainashikanam iva iti abhipraya. Vainashikas are Bauddhas. Vinasha means destruction. Destruction of everything means Shunya. Okay. That's why they are called Vainashikas. They say everything is Shunya. So Bhashyakara clearly refutes the Vainashikavada here. So I don't understand how people call him as Mayavadi and all that. Just because they don't understand, you can't brand someone. What is the basis for you to say Mayavadi? See, we call Vainashikas as Vainashika because that's their Siddhanta. They say everything is Vinasha, everything is Shunya. But Advaiti, we are not saying everything is Maya. No, where are we saying everything is Maya? Maya, everything is one Vastu, which is Atma Vastu. Kalpayati Atmana Atmanam Atma Devaha. So everything is Atma. Everything is Brahman, that is Atma Vastu. Being Atma Vastu, everything, how am I seeing this Jagat? That is Maya. That's what we are saying. We are not saying everything is Maya. But then you can ask, it indirectly means everything is Maya. No. It indirectly and directly means everything is Atma. However, there is no commitment to this Maya and all that. Because you ask a question that how am I seeing this Jagat, to make you understand everything is Brahman, the Maya is introduced as a methodology of teaching, Prakriya. But you can't see, because Yama Sa Maya, the Maya can't be an independent existence, a Satyam. If Maya is Satyam, then there is no Advaitam. Maya is Mithya only. So Mithya Bhuta Maya, how can it be our commitment? Our commitment is never on Mithya Bhuta Vastu. It is only on Satya Vastu, which is Atma. So what is Maya means? Maya means it's the Upadhi. How is this Brahman, which is Eka Vastu? It's like what created your dream? What creates your dream? I have to say, some kind of ignorance or tamas creates a dream. Now, what is the Satyam of the dream? The dreamer Swarupa only, only I am the truth of the dream. There is nothing. This tamas and all that is to explain how am I dreaming. It is an incidental state that I am explaining. But what is the Satyatvam of the dream? It's the dreamer only. Exactly same here. This is like the tamas we say creates the dream. Likewise, we have to say Maya creates the Kalpana. The purport is to show that all that is here is the Atma, which is the content of the Kalpana. Okay, Kalpayati Atmana Atmanam Atmani Atma Devaha Swamayaya Kalpayati. Sayeva Buddhyate Vedaniti Vedanta Nishcheha. It is the same. Where else it can be? The experiencer has to be the one experiencing, and the content of the experiencer is the Surupa of the experiencer, which is Satta only, the existence which is available to you all the time. Even in the deep sleep, when your Antakarana is not available to you, but Atma is there as a Sakshi. Therefore, it is forever there. And everything has to be on it. Therefore, what else is the Adhara? The Adhikaranam, for all these things, for Jnana Ashraya has to be only the Swarupa. Therefore, Jnana Smriti Ashraya Nanyaha Atma Eva. Vikaroti Aparan Bhavan Antaschitte Vyavasthitan Niyatanscha Bhavischittaha Evam Kalpayate Prabhu. Prabhu. The Prabhu is one who doesn't need to borrow anything. The one who is full. He is the Upadana, he is the Nimitta, he is the Sahakari, he is the Adhikarana, everything. Atmana, Atmanam, Atmani Visa. Therefore, Prabhu. He doesn't need a separate architect to design this Jagat. He doesn't need to go and get material from some store. So the Prabhu means the one who has all the wealth and intelligence and everything to create in himself or herself. Kalpayate. How? Vikaroti. Nana karoti. Vividha rachana karoti. The whole Srishti is made by who? Prabhu. Who becomes this manifested Jagat. Utpadayati. What? Aparan Bhavan. All this different things, manifested world. Laukikan Bhavan. Bhashyakara is going to say Bhavan. Paran Bhavan. Aparan Bhavan. Laukikan Padarthan. Sabdadin. Anyanscha. Antaschitte. Vasana Rupena Vyavasthitan. So how does the Srishti happen? The Srishtikarta has to see the Srishti. So whatever was, how does that Srishtikarta see the Srishti? Whatever was there in the earlier Srishti, the same thing which became Pralaya in an Avyakta state, again the same thing the Ishvara sees and the next Srishti happens. So the knowledge of the Srishti has to be there in the Srishtikarta. So that's where Antaschitte Vyavastitan Niyatamscha Kalpitan Kalpana Kalan Bahishchittaha Eva Kalpayate. Antaschittaha Bahishchittaha. And see, therefore, let's just quickly see the Bhashyakara. Sankalpayanne kena prakarena kalpayati iti uchyate. So it is a kalpana of the Atma was told. How does this kalpana happen? Vikaroti nana karoti aparan laukikan bhavan padarthan. So this all this worldly objects, padarthan means including emotions, anger, everything, right? Padarthan, sapta padarthaha, we see in Nyaya Shastra, no? There are many padarthas, not only the tangible objects, emotion, even they call all this abhava also is a padartha only for. Okay, so everything, anything which is a padana, padasya artha. When you say a word and if it has a meaning to it, it's a padartha. Whatever is represented by the word. Shabdadin anyanscha antaschitte vasana rupena vyavastidan avyakritan. So avyakrita, that is where maya is. Okay, the maya, avyakrita maya, which in an unmanifest form, the whole knowledge of creation, it becomes manifest as that's the srishti. Niyatanscha Prithivyaadin aniyatanscha kalpana kalan. Okay, all the tangible and intangible stuff. Bahishchitta sanne tata antaschittaha manorathadi lakshana nityevam kalpayati. Atma Prabhu Ishvaraha. This Ishvara does kalpana of all this antaschitta, bahishchitta, everything. Just like in the dream, the antaschitta, bahishchitta, in the dream example, how you create. Likewise, in the Vekan also, this whole Jagat is a manifestation of the same Ishvara Prabhu. That is the Srishti. So that is Atma only. So he is in the form. So here, Vedanta Nishchayaha. Again, one interesting point. He directly uses the term Vedanta Nishchayaha in the previous verse. But there are people who say Mandukya Karika, Gaudapada wrote about was all Bauddha only. There is a Vidushekara who writes commentary on this saying that this whole thing is a Buddhist text. How can it be Buddhist text? Here clearly he says Vedanta Nishchayaha. He directly quotes Shruti Vakya. And like I said, the Jagat Karanatvam can't be established without Shruti Vakya. Therefore, Mandukya Karika and Gaudapada and all is Vedanti only. And Acharya anyway does Bhashya. In fact, Madhva has done Bhashya for Agama Prakarana along with the Mandukya Shruti. His Dvaita Bhashya is done on including Mandukya Karika, at least for the Agama Prakarana is what I hear. Therefore, it is a Shruti aligned text. There is no way this can be and again Devaha, Swamayaya Kalpayati and all that is there. So it can't be construed as a Buddhist text by any means. Anyway, Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om